I got this Powerffy vacuum sent to me to make a video about. Here's everything that comes in the box here. You get the vacuum. This is the main part of it right here. It's got a nice handle on there. Comes with a battery right here to charge up, and a power cord right here to charge up the battery. Comes with an extender pipe, and it's just got a button right here to connect onto the vacuum itself. You can see where the red dots are there. You connect that in there. And then to take it off, you just push the red button in. And then down here, you push this button to extend it. So you can see how far you can extend that there. You just push the red button to take it off. You got a couple different connectors here. This one here's got some little brushes on the end of it. And this one right here is a little smaller, and it's just smooth on the bottom. So this is good to get into the door jambs and tight to reach areas. And then here's the roller right here. It's got a nice swivel arm on it. You can see it swivels all around. It's got nice wheels there, nice brushes. It looks like there's a grade inside there to clean the brushes. So that should help keep the brushes clean there. And then you just push this button here, like I said, to take it off there. It also comes with a rack right here that you can mount to the wall, and this will hold the vacuum up there on the wall. And then you get a couple extra filters right here. Then you get a little cleaning brush, and then you also get a couple of Aromatherapy cards. That's the cologne one, and this one here says it's rose. So we get a couple different aromatherapies there. The aromatherapies are the only thing that you need to install. Everything else is already installed. The filters are already in here. Let me show you where they're at. You can see on here there's a button right here on the side. You push that button right there and you can take the canister off. And then you see there's the filter right in there. And so you have a couple replacement filters. You can just put those in there. And then it's also got a little handle on there you can pull, so you could take this out to clean it. And you can put your filter back in, and then when it gets too clogged up, you got a couple extra ones there to replace it with. They look like really nice filters. And then to put it back together, there's a little groove right there, and you line that up with that groove, and then you line this other part up with this other groove here. You don't need to take this off every time you empty it. It's also got a trigger here. There's a trigger there to empty it, and then you could just dump it in the garbage that way, and this won't fall out. This is in here really good. So you just dump out your debris, but if you get some stuff clogged up there and you need to clean out the top of the canister, you could just take it off by pushing this button right here and just take it off like that to get in there. And then when you put it back in, you just make sure you got that in there and you just push that into place. It says to charge up the battery before you use it. Once you get the battery charged up, just slides on there just like that there. And it's got a button on here too. Everything's got red buttons. So it's pretty easy to know where to take everything off. The only thing you do have to install though is the Aromatherapy, and that goes in the top right here. So you take this off right here, and there is another filter, and this little slat right here, that's where you put your Aromatherapy. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and charge up the battery, and then I'll decide if I want to use the cologne or if I want to use the rose, and then I'll just stick that right in there. And then once you're done, you can see there's two grooves in here, and they just go on here. You just line those grooves up in here like that in order to lock it back into place. You can just see the little lock there. There's a lock and an unlock. There's a little arrow there, and then push that arrow to lock it, and then you push it this way to unlock it. So you could take this off here. And then there's the slat right there where you put the Aromatherapy card. I'm going to go with the cologne. And then I'm just going to put that little card right in there, the little Aromatherapy card right there. Just put it in that little slat there. And then when you put this back on, you see those ridges there? You line those ridges up with those ridges there. And then you just twist it to lock it there. And it smells like nice cologne in here now. I put the vacuum here in the closet. I just put the wall bracket right down here, and then that way I can just store it here in the closet out of the way. And then I got a plug next to it. You do have to have a plug, that way you can charge it up. I just got it charging up right there. And there's a room for the 2 accessories here. We got the one with the brush on it and the regular one there. And I also got the hook hanging up here. And then I put a little hook up here and a clip. And I got the 2 extra filters and the Aromatherapy and the instructions in this little baggie right up here. So I got it all up here together out of the way in the closet. So yeah, it's pretty convenient. I just got it mounted in the closet here out of the way, and then I can just walk in there and get it when I need it. Just gonna hit the power button there. Pull that off. It's got a nice light on there, so that's nice. It's so powerful, it's vacuuming up my rug. I got it on the lowest setting too, so it's really doing a good job here. Seems to do good on tile. And then like I said, it's so powerful on the rug there. And you see there's different settings. There's a little line right there, a little propeller to show how powerful it is. There's medium, and there's full. So you can see even on low here, does a little bit better vacuuming up the rug. Our cat's always making a mess out here, and he knocked down the potting soil over here in this little planter. We had put a cat box out here so that he wouldn't mess with the planter or anything, but that didn't work out. He still messed with the planter there, made a big old mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this area up out here. He made a big old mess here. I'm gonna put this up here, and then I'll see if I can get this vacuumed up. Just going to put the small adapter on there. There we go. So it started making some noise, so it's probably clogged up because I'm trying to pick up too big of stuff here. So I'm just going to push this button here. And then you can see I got it all clogged up right there. So you can see the size of some of this debris here. You don't want to vacuum up anything like that. All right, we got this rug out here in the garage. We'll go ahead and test out the vacuum on this rug here. Looks like it hasn't been vacuumed in a while. All right, it seemed to do a pretty good job in here. One thing I noticed is that if I have it on full power, there's a lot of suction and it grips the rug and it's harder to vacuum it. But if you put it on the low power, it vacuums a lot easier. So that high power is pretty powerful. If you're vacuuming a rug that's got like a different type of pattern on it, sometimes it will grip it and be hard to vacuum it. So just put it down on the low setting there. Plus that'll save your battery too, because it'll last a lot longer if you run it on the low setting. Another cool feature here is that when you turn it off, when you hit the power button right there, the vacuum kicks in to clean anything out of the pipes there. So that's a pretty cool feature on here. That way you don't have to worry about stuff falling out of the bottom of the vacuum when you carry it around the house. So that's pretty nice. All right, let's go ahead and see what we vacuumed up here. To release this here, there's a button right here on the side. You just open that button there, then you can take this off, and then you can dump it that way. Or you can pull this trigger right here, and then just dump it right into the trash like that. That didn't work out though. I ended up spilling it all over the place. So I'm just going to take it off this way right here like this. And then to open it up here, I'm just going to push this lever right here. And then it just opens up right there over the garbage can. So yeah, it's pretty neat that you can pull the trigger. I just don't have the skill down for it. But yeah, you can see all the stuff it vacuumed up there. Got quite a bit of stuff there. And then to put it back in, you just take this area. There's a little nib on here. You line that nib up right there like that. And then you line this front part up there and you just click it in, and now you're back in place. And then maybe with a little bit of practice, maybe if you like hold it over here at an angle like this, and then you pull the trigger, then you could just dump it right in the garbage can there. So maybe hold it like that, get a little bit of practice there, maybe practice it before you empty it, because that's a pretty cool feature that you can just pull a trigger to empty your trash right there without having to take the whole thing apart there. So yeah, that little trigger feature is pretty nice. You just open it up like that and dump your trash. Just make sure you're right over the trash can and not on the edge like I was. So yeah, this thing got a lot of stuff vacuumed up. All right, we'll go ahead and try it on the stairs now. The nice thing about this vacuum is you can just take it apart by pushing the button there. And then it just comes right off. And you can do the same thing down here. And then we can put this together like this. And now we have a little vacuum to vacuum the stairs with. How cool is that? All right, let's go ahead and vacuum the stairs now. So yeah, this thing's really nice to use on the stairs. If you have thick carpet like this on the stairs, you know how hard it is to keep it clean. And this just does a really good job fluffing up the carpet there and getting all the stuff off the rug there. And then you can put the pipe back in to extend it when you're vacuuming the floor again. Vacuuming the landing here. Don't want to be down on my hands and knees vacuuming the landing, so it's nice to get the full back out. And if you don't want to take the vacuum apart and vacuum down on your hands and knees, you can vacuum standing up here. Maybe we'll shorten it a little bit there. I think that's just about right for vacuuming the stairs. That works really good too. So yeah, this is kind of nice to vacuum it like this. Like I said, this is really lightweight, so it's great for vacuuming your stairs. All right, we'll see how it does with the cat litter up here. Seems to be doing pretty good cleaning this area up. It's nice that it's got that light too. And like I said, I put it on the low setting because it seemed like when I put it on the high setting, it was sucking up the rug too much, or was sticking to the rug. And so at the low setting, it seems to do a little bit better on the thick carpet. Plus with cat litter, it doesn't kick it around. You don't want to be running it too powerful when you're picking up cat litter, because it'll just kick it all around like that with the brush. So it's nice that you got different settings. If you need the full power, you can use it. And it has really good suction for low power too. Does a really good job. All right, I put it back on the docking station here. Let's see what the power's at here. So it looks like we're at 2 bars there. So yeah, that's not too bad. It's got 2 bars left. That's after vacuuming up out on the patio, vacuuming the rug in the garage, vacuuming the stairs back there, and vacuuming up by the cat box. So yeah, if you're looking for a new vacuum, this Powerffy is pretty nice.